Joanne, some people are calling these cuts way too drastic, but Governor Rick Snyder says they are necessary changes to spur job growth in Michigan. Governor Rick Snyder outlining his vision today that sweeping cuts are necessary to spur job growth in Michigan. But the cuts are deep and wide. There are taxes on pensions, cuts to public schools that amount to $470 per student. His plan also asks state employees to make $180 million in concessions. Governor Snyder presented his proposal to a room full of lawmakers, telling them this will be a defining moment.
The day of kicking the can down the road is ending. It is time to take responsibility.
This afternoon, Snyder answered questions from the media about his bold plan, which includes nearly $100 million in revenue-sharing cuts, money that cities depend on. There is concern that those cuts and school funding cuts could drive cities into insolvency or require districts to have an emergency financial manager like Detroit.
If they change their their medical co-pays from 10 to 20% or 0 to 20%, there's a very significant savings there. The same thing's true of many municipalities that haven't adopted best practice on benefit compensation models. So I believe there's a lot of opportunity that don't necessarily drive them to a financial manager. It drives them to a much more solid basis and a footing for the long term in terms of exhibiting best practice.
Snyder insists it's time to change habits and make tough decisions that should have been made decades ago.
Are there tweaks and twists? Is it perfect? No. But is it something that's really solid, that holds together in totality? Absolutely.
There is indeed a lot of work ahead. Of course, lawmakers will have to sign off on this. Governor Rick Snyder is hopeful that the legislature will do that by the end of May. Coming up on Action News at 6, you'll hear reaction to the governor's plan from lawmakers on both sides of the aisle. Reporting live in Lansing, Anu Prakash, Channel 7 Action News.